What if I told you you don't need to reinvent yourself completely? You don't need to overhaul your whole life. You just need to return to who you've always been. Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. My name is Millie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are shooting in a different location in my workplace, and I just wanted to make this video so that we don't lose the momentum, and also that I keep sharing what I feel in my heart is important. And today I wanted to talk about the pressure we all feel to reinvent our whole lives when we are trying to make a change, when you're trying to better your life. And the modern self-improvement cycle shows us that we need to overhaul our entire lives. We need to make changes to everything, our identity, how we dress, how we walk, how we talk, our jobs, our careers, and everything in between. And I believe that that's too much pressure. We cannot manage all that, and that's why sometimes the self-improvement world can leave you feeling not enough, or even you're left comparing yourself to others, trying to chase what other people are doing. You want to look like your friend, you want to buy the car they are buying, or even chase the career they're chasing, because you feel like you're not enough. You feel like you need to overhaul your life entirely. But that's not the essence of true change. I believe that true change comes from going back to your true essence, to who you really are, and your values, your intentions, who you are at your core, your intuition. Those are the things that make you you. And you don't need to overhaul your entire life in one night so that you become this person, become her, whoever that is. And I believe this is something important to talk about. And I wanted to highlight how social media sometimes makes it look instant, like the change is instant. In one night someone goes through surgery and they come back looking perfect, like their body is perfect. In like people showcase their lives, like they go to the gym daily and their abs are massive. But those are habits that are cultivated over time. They don't have to happen overnight. You don't have to fall into the trap of pressuring yourself to become this person overnight. That's not how change works. And it's important, even when with the people you're surrounding yourself with, that they encourage you to change step by step and to return to the essence of your true core. You are not born imperfect. There's nothing wrong with you. Like at the core of you, you are this awesome being. So you just need to return to who you really are, and that's how you reinvent your life. You don't have to change your identity. You just need to return to listening to yourself, to feeling your feelings, and to adjusting your mindset so that it goes not towards the external but towards the internal shifts that you need to make. Let's talk about what returning to yourself actually means. And number one, while I was going through doing some research and thinking about this deeply, I thought that returning to yourself means returning back to your values and what you value as a person, what your intentions are as a person, and the direction you want your life to take. If kindness is a true value for you, that's something you need to be looking into. Returning to your values means returning to your core essence and shutting down the noise from the outside. Number two is returning to a pace that your soul enjoys. So many times with the hustle culture and everything, you may find yourself feeling overwhelmed because of the pace you've adopted for your life. Like you're moving very fast, you're moving towards superficial things that don't even make sense for you, goals that are not yours, that are defined by the society and culture in general. So returning to a pace, maybe a slower pace or a more organized pace, may be good for your soul. Another important thing about returning to yourself is returning to hobbies and routines that light up your soul. This is really important in the journey of reinventing yourself and returning to yourself. Finding those little joys that used to make you happy as a child, or things that you've learned as an adult but other people deem unimportant. That is quite literally the soul of life, like gives your life color. So returning to sports, if that's what you like, returning to crafts, returning to slow hobbies, coloring, knitting, crochet, such things, it can bring a new romantic side to your life that you truly enjoy. One important thing is to silence the voices on the outside and return to yourself, quiet your mind to a place where you can hear yourself again. This is literally one of the things that has changed my life, because when you're overwhelmed with the external noise, you cannot hear yourself and life feels too loud. But when you quiet down things, like you take a weekend off just to chill, relax, and listen to your mind, new ideas, new creative ideas start emerging from your brain and from your heart, and you feel more at peace. So return to a quiet place and listen to yourself, hear your needs, and then honor those needs. And that's an important step in returning to yourself. Secondly, as I mentioned, is to return to all things that used to make you happy, hobbies, routines. For example, for me, a slower morning and then moving into work and then finding a quiet evening. Those are things that make me happy and help me become more creative, express myself better. So that works for me. Also returning to old hobbies. For example, for me, I love plants. Just tending to my plants, finding ways to like spend time around plants, around gardens, flowers, stuff like that works for me. You should find things that work for you and return to those things that made you happy. Thirdly, and very important, is to notice when you're abandoning yourself. This is something we do all the time when we say yes to something that we meant to say no to, when we go to places where we didn't want to go, when we eat things that we didn't want to eat. We are just like abandoning our core needs, and this leads to a feeling of overwhelmed and feeling of not being enough, because you're not answering to your own needs. You're just following the crowd, following your friends, your family. But when you stop abandoning yourself and just bring back your energy back to yourself, you're able to ground yourself, and that's where the true reinvention comes from. That's where true changes belong. You have to take the time to listen to your needs and honor them and stop abandoning yourself. Finally, something that I talked about in a previous video is to become your own best friend. That's the basis of self-love. That's the basis of self-esteem and how you view yourself. When you speak to yourself kindly, when you give grace to yourself, that's the way you begin to follow your own values, you begin to honor your own needs, you begin to be more gentle with yourself when you make mistakes, and that's where true change happens. That's where true invention happens. And I believe that's when you feel satisfied in your soul with the way you're taking your life, because you're listening to yourself. You're taking the time to care for yourself, to tend to your own needs. That's where you're able now to decide, I want to go to the gym 3-4 times a week. I want to write a book, so this is my plan. And because it's coming from self-love, you're able to follow through easily. It's not as difficult. And when you are also following the pace that works for you, the pace that makes you happy, that culminates in a totality of success that nobody really mentions. The core message I wanted to pass along today is that you don't need to reinvent your entire life. You don't need to change your life completely. You don't need to overhaul everything. You can take it step by step by returning back to yourself, by analyzing your values, your intentions, and where you want to go, and following that intuition inside of you. That's how you refocus your energy back to yourself, and you're able to reinvent yourself into somebody that you actually like, someone that you enjoy spending time with, and someone that's successful by the measure of your own eyes, not what other people tell you to be, but in the measure of your own eyes. So I believe you can do this. As always, I'm always cheering for you. I'm always here to help if you need it. Just leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.